We are live. We aren't yet.
Well, we're not.
just have
We're
to press
recording, but we're not. We are live technically, but yes.
I wasn't technically even recording then, so I was like, damn it.
I've been recording since you got on the call, because I always do. This is where we find these funny little moments, so it's always good. Oh
Man, I was kind of grown up today, kind of childish today, so it's kind of fun.
Dorks Down Under.
So I went and bought because my shirt's always like just the problem with ironing is I fucking hate ironing, A, and B, I don't know where to set it up because it's just awkward. Like where our house is, so I got a clothes steamer. You know the steamer that you can hang up and you just steam the clothes.
Yeah. I like how we both immediately went, yeah, like that in sync.
What? No, wrong steamer.
Wrong steamer.
It was kind of weird. So I got that because I had a voucher that was going to run out literally on Sunday. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy one of those. Then I bought a little bento box for my new job, which starts next Monday on the 20th. So I can bring my own lunch.
Yeah.
And then I bought this. Jesus. I bought a Rubik's Cube, mainly because I've never been able to do them, and I really want to. So if anybody's listening, this podcast is just going to be, Jordan's going to not be in this one, and then it's just going to be me doing a Rubik's Cube for an hour.
I have to say
try to get it done.
1 second. Just 1 second.
Oh, God.
Hey!
Okay. So it's going to be two of us doing a
God
Rubik's Cube.
God forbid.
Oh, God. She can't find it?
She knows I'm recording. She's using the bloody electric mixer and it's cropping up on my thing.
Oh yeah, because I've got the dryer like just here, and I was like, crap, it's gonna come through. So I closed the door.
Oh no, I can't. Yeah, but I've got the door shut. But the kitchen's the other side of that wall, and she's whisking something in a glass bowl, and all I can hear is.
Great sound. It's a great sound. But
I'm like, hello, recording. We're not going to have this issue when we move into the new house because
same with mine.
My office is separate. It's going to be away. It's going to be where we can do everything separately. Although no doubt Eleanor will want to work in the pantry, which is the opposite side.
As much as I love these things, they're a pain in the ass to open because they obviously have to keep a lot more pressure because they're bigger.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I almost cut myself on that. I think just fucking opened it and almost sliced my finger. This is why Derek's not allowed to have beer because he's a child.
Oh,
there we go.
Dez, poor Dez.
Yay!
Poor Dez.
I got it open. Okay. So yes, I bought a steamer. I bought a bento box.
Nope.
I bought a really nice notepad for new work, and then I bought a Rubik's Cube because I've never been able to do them and I always want to. So I literally took it out of the pack just before we started, and got Cherish to mess.
So your plan.
It up. So if you just hear this, he's just going to do this for an hour and stream it. So that people can be like, oh, look how smart he is. He did the Rubik's Cube. Oh, I got one color. Got a line of green. Now we'll go for the middle.
Right, well, I'll do the intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Dorks Down Under. It is Jordan here with my co-host Dez. We are currently in good old Australasia.
Where it's hot as hell down here.
Which is between either being hot as hell or windy and hail, because currently, this is the day before, Cyclone Gabriel is about to hit New Zealand. Yay!
Nice.
So as you can...
Angel Gabriel's just throwing down some trash.
Yeah,
New Zealand.
Oh my lord. I mean, it's not... I mean, no offense. We had that freak already bomb weather cycle that happened anyway. But yeah, now we've got the cyclone coming, and yeah, it's like predicted 130k winds for Gisborne's about
around.
Yeah, Gisborne's like up to 400 mil of water in the next 24 hours. It's absolutely hectic, man. So
Jesus
Auckland's
Christ.
about to be underwater again.
So yeah. So technically we could have this episode out, or this could be the final episode before Jordan floats back to. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it was.
It's all right. Working.
No,
Can you hear me now?
It's all right. It's Australian internet trying to catch up with New Zealand internet.
Yeah, baby, it's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's the thing that I wanted to put. One time I was like, can I lower the? And I can't. Balls. It's all good.
It's all right. These things happen, doesn't it? We'll make Editor Jordan's on it this week. He'll make it work in post.
That's my region's automatically set to Brazil.
Brazil. Coming live at you via Brazil.
Would you set it to? So that's probably why my internet is also so bad, because it's going to Brazil then back to New Zealand.
That's probably why, yeah.
But so this could be our last episode, because Jordan could have floated back to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet, or he could float over to us, which means that it could be an in-person one. So either way, win-win.
Yeah, either way,
but
we both say we'll.
But screw you.
It is going to be an interesting. Well, it's 48, 72 hours, because it's apparently going to start raining from 6 a.m. tomorrow. So we've and it's meant to land on the North Island as of, I think it's Monday, possibly Tuesday. So yeah, it's going to get wet and wild here. So I mean,
I was going to say, if Editor Jordan's still alive and kicking after tomorrow, there probably will be some kind of picture on one of these areas here or here that shows the picture that he sent me, which is like scary. Like you don't even see the North Island. So
well, to be fair, the Met Service has been showing the prediction today. Like keep getting updates every other hour of here's the prediction, and it was funny because it shows you like the funnel path that's occurring with it. And like I think like about 3 hours ago, it went from this and then suddenly kinks down. So suddenly Wellington's going to get rain now as well. So it's pretty much all the North Island's going to get hit by this. It's going to be hilarious.
It's just a giant sign that just says fucked. Because that's pretty much, by the sounds of things, what it's going to be.
Honest to God, it is. I mean, no offense, Auckland's still recovering. It's like, to be fair, it's like we've spent the day prepping today, because normally when these bad weather events happen, they just happen. So normally we don't get a chance to prep. It's actually nice to have a chance to prep for a change. So me and Ella have been running. So
Jordan's got like a go bag, shotgun. Like he's got his togs out. So right now you don't notice, but underneath stream he's wearing budgie smugglers just in case.
Always.
Before we started recording, he walked through and I was like, damn, there needs to be a calendar of this man. So Magic Jordan.
That's all right. You would have been shocked by the outfit I wore for Ellie last night. Let's just put it that way. She was at Ed Sheeran's concert last night, sort of thing, which was then.
I thought you said insurance concert. I was like, insurance? That sounds horrid.
Ed Sheeran's.
I know.
Concert.
I realized that.
So yeah, she was at that last night. And...
I realized that for a second.
But yeah, so it was like, I ended up being dressed up for her when she got back, because she was away all this week. She was down in the South Island with her mother. So yeah,
oh nice.
I was nicely attired for her when she got in. Got to keep the spice alive.
It's like I was just wearing a bow and a smile, baby. Mm-hmm.
I had a little more on than that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And there's just she walks through this thing and all you hear is as the record player's going around, and it's like, let's get it on.
Honest to God, right? Okay, I understand that song is the universal song for lovemaking. You know, it's the well-known. Oh, if that song's playing, obviously someone's getting it on. We get it. But is it not a bit cheesy and a bit crap now? It's just I mean, I don't even know what song I would suggest that could take its place, because I'm not out of touch with music. I mean, I listen to so much random stuff modern days. It's hilarious.
I won't lie. My go-to is T-Pain. It's I'm in Love, and then in brackets with a stripper, and it's spelled I''M, capital N, LUV, brackets WIT, and then a stripper, and I'm like, so English isn't dead. The written language isn't dead. But yes, butchered. If you want to, T-Pain's I'm in Love with a Stripper, very romantic.
Sounds.
Or if you want to stick with the old school. Oh, it really is, man. Like, there's nothing like having your girl walk in, making her feel special, and just throwing $1 bills at her. No.
Well, no, it would hurt here because we have $1 coins. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, that's
it's not quite the
true.
same.
Yeah, so do we.
Just
Yeah.
launching coins at you go. Yeah, you like that,
gonna
don't
say-
you? You like it.
In America, they make it rain. In New Zealand, they make it
Make
hail.
it hail,
because he's a
baby.
baller on the
Gonna-
budget, bitches. Yeah, I'm a baller on a budget, bitch.
Oh man.
Okay, so that's there.
I'll tell you what. I was watching. Because obviously with Eddie being away this week, Eddie's now started his new school, which is great. You know, and he's making friends and all.
Oh
that
yeah, I
jazz.
remember seeing photos.
Yeah, no, we obviously
He's
we had to
looking
do
all big and tough and
every
stuff.
parent has to do the obligatory. Here's the first day photo, which turns up on all the feeds, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" You know, to be fair, his school started like 3 or 4 days earlier than everyone else because obviously
I thought
Auckland.
it did.
Well, Auckland was still there was a state of emergency still, so most schools were still shut, sort of thing. So they were shut for an extra couple of days.
Oh.
But yeah. One of the, in fact, it got lifted.
No, because I remember seeing
yeah.
yours. I remember seeing Eddie. Because I remember seeing Eddie's.
Nope.
And Eddie and his, and then I saw nothing, and I was like, "That's weird. There's nobody actually taking photos of their kids anymore." And then the following Monday, I got all
the waves.
all these
It
photos
always
come through Facebook.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it does, man. But yeah,
I did notice.
but we
Because I did notice that I have a lot more friends with kids now. Far out, my mic must be like playing it.
I'll tell you what, you're
Just a
on my end. Your camera's playing up, and you keep cutting. I think it's between you and
really?
Discord, but it's fine. Don't worry, we'll make it work. I'm sure between our two recordings, we'll be able to get a nice harmony together.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. It'll be fine.
Hopefully.
But no. So obviously this week I've been super dad, and I've been doing the double commute for him. So I've been taking him down and picking him up, which is so to this as of with the airport run for my mother-in-law today, I've done 1,300 kilometers in the car this week. My
Jesus
my
Christ.
lower back, I'll tell you now, is busted. It's really bad.
That's like driving from the North Island to the South Island and back again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it is.
The whole of New Zealand isn't even that big.
It is ridiculous how much mileage I have put on the car this week. But it's sadly,
Jesus.
obviously, we have to do these things given the fact that our house isn't finished. But on that front, there is good news.
I thought that was pre-Christmas.
Yeah, well, originally we were meant to be in for Christmas, and that all went absolute tits up, as it does, because obviously the Christmas shutdown and everything else. And so they've started back. Painting has started, which is the main thing, because painting needs to be done before they get literally the 50 trades in to do all the final fittings and all that. That's going to be like a 4-week mad rush once the painting's finished. But it's one thing that happened this week, because obviously the paint has been working inside. We've got drain pipes now, which means that they've connected us to the sewer line finally. The wastewater, because they couldn't find the wastewater line,
Which is awesome considering the amount of rain that is coming.
the amount of rain that's
the amount of rain that's coming.
The amount of rain that is coming. It is very good to know that. I mean, we were lucky with the weather bomb that happened, because we were really worried about the house. But luckily, the ground it's still clayish like Auckland is, so all the water, once it got saturated, all the water just ran off into the street, and we were like, "Oh, thank Lord," sort of thing. But literally, it was hilarious when we went there and you looked out on the back, because our house property lies. You got golf course on one side, and on the other side you've got because we're on the corner. You got the college school grounds. So the rugby, like the football pitch, and there was like a lake. It was basically a lake in that corner. From obviously all the water just ran off and just landed on there, and it was like, okay, we just pretend that we don't know anything. It's not our fault that this is happening, sort of thing. But yeah, but when because obviously I've been going down every day. I have swung by the house every morning and every afternoon just to see who's there. And I saw that the guys from the plumbing guys who had to put the camera down to try and find where the line was were there on Wednesday, and I'm like,
that's funny.
I was like, thank God. And then because that's one job that's been holding things up, because we've been waiting for them to put a camera down to find it, and then they can get us all hooked up, and once we're all hooked up, we can get the concrete laid for the driveway, sort of thing. So it's just one of those jobs that needed doing, sort of thing. And it wasn't holding us up, but I think if it had gone another couple of weeks, I think my project manager may have like had an aneurysm, sort of thing, because he's not getting it done.
That's insane.
But
like it seems funny too, though, that they couldn't find. Like, you'd think it'd be on the actual.
Oh, well, this is the thing.
On the actual...
Yeah, no. So obviously, it was built by so the council signed it all off. So whoever did the development, so the line has to be there. It has to be. Otherwise, it would never have been signed off because it was all sectioned up. So the line had to be there. But I was like, I bet you it's either. I said, because there was only two options. Either A, it's slightly over on one of the other lots next to us, possibly, or B, it's slightly short and it's underneath the pavement.
Which is that where it was?
I don't know. I haven't spoke to the project manager. He's avoided my call all this week, because one thing I was concerned about all week as I was driving past the house is I didn't see a truck out front saying XYZ Painters at all. And I thought, right, I'm not gonna be one of those clients who's ringing up the project manager every day. I thought, no, I'm just gonna, because we're meant to have a call every week on a Monday normally, but it was it was public holiday this week, so I thought, okay, we'll see what happens.
Right. I was gonna say, but if you watch this podcast, fucking cool. All right? Fucking do it.
But on Friday, after I picked it,
if you're not the project manager, sorry for the violence.
But obviously, with on Friday when I picked Eddie up, we swung by the house, and I thought, right, because I was quite quiet on site, and I was at 3:00, and I was like, I said, I've just fancied just popping my head in the windows and seeing if any painting's been done, because I've just had this nervousness about not seeing a painting truck all week. So I put my head in.
Oh, man.
I poked my head in through, looked through the windows, and yeah, painting's actually been doing. They've slammed it, because of last time I saw it, they'd just got the base coats down. So, the based it and sanded it and so you could still see all the plaster. But now I looked in and it's pretty much all done. And they, especially on the accommodation side, they've got the feature walls all done and everything else. So I was like, oh, thank God. but yeah.
Thank baby jeebus.
I need to remind my project manager is that because now we are commuting Edward every day, he's likely going to get reports of, why does these cars keep spinning round at school time? For those of you who aren't watching the vidcast on our YouTube channel, Dez has nearly got a full side colour. You do realise that you're meant to. I think you're meant to solve one side and then you can solve all the rest of them. Apparently, I think that's how you're meant to do it. But
yeah, I just screwed it up now. Give up. I hate Rubik's cubes. I like them and I want to be able to do them. But they just.
I honestly, I'm always so impressed by those guys who can do it one-handed and like that, and it's like, and they're not even roughly paying attention because they're doing it in their head because they've looked at it and gone, and then they just do that, and they're looking at they'll look like this direction, and they're just and then
have you seen the dudes that they lift up like the cloche and they're like,
speed cubing, speed cube,
and they put it in and then they go, boom. And they just slam it. I'm like, the thing that took you the longest thing to do was to take your hands off and put your hands back on the timer because the Rubik's Cube was done before that even happened.
I know.
Like, what the hell?
It shocks me. But Eddie's got, his uncle, one thing for those of you who aren't from the UK is that when you have friends and family, basically who know your kids, you call them aunts and uncles all the time. So I had many aunts and uncles. I only have several close lineage. I have a very less than on one hand now.
Yeah.
But the fact is that I had a whole bunch of aunts and uncles growing up because there was Uncle Blah and Uncle and Aunt so and so. There was all these people who are just friends of my my mum or my dad, and it's just But my best friend Craig back in the UK, who's Uncle Craig to Edward, he bought him a speed cube set. So it came with it was 3 different Rubik's cubes. There was a 2x2, the normal 6x6, and then this 12 octahegon thing. It's weird, man. But yeah, even when I saw the 2x2, I thought, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, 2x2, easy, piss easy.
No.
I still haven't done it. I still haven't done it. I can't. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, there was a photo I took because there's this new game shop that's open like right near like in the big shopping center near us, and they have like a whole section for Bluey. So I did take a photo. I just forgot to send it to you, I think.
Right.
But yeah, there's this massive Bluey section. But the thing is amazing. And this Rubik's Cube, I was like, man, I've always wanted to learn to do that. And Jerish is like, why don't you get it? I was like, because I can't be bothered. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's probably going to be like $30. And I scanned it, and it was $4. So I'm like,
screw it, I'm buying
it. Yeah. So I'm like, screw it, I'm buying it. I'm going to do it. And then I'm probably not going to do it, but I'm going to say I'm going to do it because screw you, hippie.
I'll tell you what, I was...
I just don't get them.
It's like, obviously today, obviously with the storm on, I've been going around various shops, picking bits and bobs up to make sure I was stocked up on blah, 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 and everything else.
Yeah.
And I went to the warehouse today, and I was, you know, it's amazing how I go to the warehouse, and it's like there's a magnetic pull that takes me to the Lego aisle. It doesn't matter what warehouse I walk into, suddenly I end up on the Lego aisle at some point, and it's like, ooh, I like that one, but it's $200.
Yeah, I must say, Lego seems massive at the moment. There was a streamer friend of mine, Uber Timmy, who has just decided that he's obviously stopping streaming because he wants to. Obviously, he's got now a soon-to-be wife and a kid, but he's still doing his YouTube channel, which is him and his son just building Lego.
Yeah,
and he streams that.
I mean, yeah,
and he gets more views than a normal thing. I'm like, Lego is massive.
Yeah,
like
it's
what is it? My friend Oz.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, my friend Oz has got this website that I've got to get off him. But what you do is you can go in and you can go, okay, so there may have never been a set made of, say, for example, like the Firefly ship, right?
Yeah.
What you do is people have designed it. So what you do is you click on it and it tells you all the parts you need. But then what it does is it also tells you all the people that are selling those parts. So if you've got enough time on your hands and you've got an old Lego collection, you could literally go through it and find the item code of all those and list them, and people will buy them. And then what you do is you're like, okay, I want that, I want to buy it. Then what it does is it emails all these different people and says, okay, so Jeff, we need part 8, 9, 10, and 11. Mike, we need parts 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then what happens is you get multiple packages to be able to build this Firefly ship. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, it's sick. I want it.
I remember watching ages ago. I mean, God, they were talking about probably about 6 months at least. There was a Lego documentary on Netflix. And you know, when you're like, you know, you've had a few beers, I think it was like a Saturday night, a few beers, Ellie was reading a book and stuff, and I thought, I'm just going to watch this. You know, just because it was something easy. You know, I didn't need to watch, you know, I didn't want to watch a movie. I didn't want to watch a car. You know when you don't want to watch anything in particular, you just want something on just to sort of drawn out life. And then I watched this Lego documentary, and of course, you know, it talks about how it all started and blah blah blah. You know, you go through all that, but then it gets to the interesting bit, which is, of course, it talks about like how you've got people who design these sets and they set them up on this website, and then Lego actually monitors all these different websites, and when they see a good idea, because obviously it's that idea is technically owned, but they basically buy the idea. So it's like, you know, it's like I'm trying to think of an example now. It's like, you know, it's like a record label wanting to get an artist on board. You know, it's like obviously they can't just say, oh, this is our music now. They've got to sign a contract and do all this jazz. And people actually do this as full-time work, is try to create sets. And like, I think one guy did it with, I think he was in Norway or something, and he was doing Birds of the World. And he was basically making like,
that's cool.
And so, you know, he's got like imagine this wall, but it's covered in little drawers, and it's all itemized and numbered, and basically he knows everything of what parts in which thing, and that. And so if he knows he needs a 4x1 in pink, it's in this drawer X, because there's obviously he's got a system, and it's all done by number and color and all this. And you know, so it was just amazing to watch him how he works. Because in fact, I actually, when I was playing, when I worked at Games Workshop, and obviously I was traveling and doing tournaments and stuff like that in the UK, I actually met an official Lego master.
That reminds me. So Arc, so we do Arc as well, the one that's coming up March 3rd and 4th or something. Last year, I didn't end up doing it because COVID was in the thing. We had Brickman who is the Australian first thing, and they all went out for dinner and stuff. And yeah, he wanted to make a Lego version of the trophy. So I'm like, I know, to be.
That's cool. Yeah.
I didn't know who Brickman was originally.
But yeah, but no, it's so we ended up I ended up obviously meeting Reese, and of course, because I think we were battling, and as you play Warhammer, you don't, unless you have opponents who will talk to you, and you have other ones who are like, no, I'm focused. No, I don't care about what you want to talk about. I'm focused on what we're doing. He's like, all right, fine. I'm a chatty guy, as you know. So I ended up talking to Reese, and he's like, what do I do for work? And at the time, I worked at a plastics manufacturer, and I explained what I did. And he went, oh, that's cool. He said, I work for a company that designs models for Lego. And I went, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, basically, like, say your Games Workshop, for example, and you want a life-size model of a Space Marine but built out of Lego. I went, right? He said, you can't go to Lego and ask them to make it. Said you could do, but they'll probably charge you a fortune. We're a third-party company that will do it, and essentially, I'm the guy who designs it and makes it all, and I basically do it in CAD, and then we build it actually properly. I'm like, dude, that's cool. And he went, yeah, no. I said we've done lots of amazing builds throughout the year. He did like a full Iron Man light up and everything, and he's done loads of different stuff. Basically, any big, huge, major model made out of Lego in the UK is primarily done by him and his company. And yeah, so he was just,
that's insane.
And I said, so you're like a Lego master? And he went, no. He said, I'm not a Lego master. And I said, well, I said, how are you not a master? He went, because you have to be officially certified by Lego to do it. And but if you do it, you then can't do creative stuff. So therefore, you've got to do it in terms of you can't do any illegal building practices, like with there's been several methods I found out for his documentary about how to make, I don't know, books appear and all this jazz, but it involves basically you're bending the pieces slightly because you got to build it illegally. It's not because it's really stupid. I don't get it, but yeah, basically
that's what Brickman was saying. Yeah. Brickman was saying he had to sign this contract of just like all these different things that he wasn't allowed to do. There was a whole heap of sanctions and stuff like this. But yeah, he actually won a reality show here in Australia, and then from there he got to go to the World Lego, and then they tested him. Yeah, it was Lego Masters.
Yeah, we've got.
And then he won that, and then from there he then went to Lego and then got certified by them afterwards. But yeah, he was the first person in like Australasia or these Pacific Islands and stuff that had ever got there. But yeah, but he was saying there's so many rules. Like he goes, there's like I think he said it was something like a couple 100-page document of all the things he wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so he was. Damn. So that's the reason why he doesn't do it. He's not an official master, but he basically is because he does everything a master builder would do. But I remember seeing what was it? But on this documentary, this Lego documentary that was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. It might be. But basically, one of the websites they talked about was this, like, essentially it's a third-party site that talks about they create their own kits, and basically they run these contests every year, and basically Lego will make up the kit and sell it only on this website. So basically they're like a limited thing, and you can only get one kit per email.
Yeah.
So, and the chances of you getting it, because essentially you basically go into a draw of a raffle. And it could be anything, the kits could be everything, because it could be voted, it could be a building of something, or it could be like an actual building, a cityscape, it could be a car, there's all these various things that but all these designs are just insane because of course, I mean, it was hilarious when I was a kid building Lego, the fact is that it was kind of like, there wasn't this much creative. I mean, it was designed to be creative, and I was creative by making my own cool little spaceships and all this jazz, like Eddie does now. He makes spaceships and everything else, which is cool. But nowadays it's like
I remember as a kid, this is what your thing would look like, just like a box with different colors. Yeah. You're like, look, Mum, I made a house. Yeah. Like, it's a box, honey. Shut up.
But no, it's interesting. And funnily enough, I mean, there's actually an app out now, which I discovered. It's called Brickit. So what you do is that you can spread out, like, if you spread out in an area like a thing of Lego on a blank screen, well, say like a sheet of paper, and you go on to brick it, and then you access the camera, it'll scan all the pieces and it'll say you can build all these different things from it. And
that's cool.
And what's really great about it as well is that if for example, if you're a creative builder and you've got this pile of Lego, and he's like, I need to find this piece, you can scan the thing and say, I want this piece, and it'll give you a rough idea of where it scanned it as well. So you can hold your camera there and put your fingers in, and you can go, and oh, there it is, perfect. Because how many goddamn times have you opened up the packet and you're looking for 10 minutes for this one little thing that's about 2 mil big, and you're like, come on, this is ridiculous. You know, all the tiny pieces should be in their own little individual bag so you can find them. It's ridiculous.
That briquette must be the one that people use when they're scanning their collection to sell it or something, because it's insane, man. Like, it's I don't know, Lego.
It's good.
Lego is a beast in and of itself.
It's just great. I mean, I think it's great. It's great for Edward because, of course, it just allows him to, if he wants to build something specifically, great. Here you go. You can do a scan and you can go, oh yeah, I want to build that, and it gives him all the instructions. And he can build it. Fab. He's happy as days. But most of the time, he's happy with Lego. He's happy just playing with his Lego anyhow. In fact, we bought him some. I think it was a couple of months back for his birthday. He wanted some Lego Mario, which is hilarious how that's come around, because I don't know if you've seen this. So Lego Mario is basically, do you remember playing it on the NES or the Super Nintendo, and it was your side scroller?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine that, but you have Lego pieces, and you basically move this Mario, and it's got a Bluetooth scanner thing as you go, and basically you take it along the thing, and you can jump on Goombas. They make the model Goomba. You can jump on it and you get coins.
What?
It's hilarious how, like, when he was doing it, I'm like, I could buy you a NES and do the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh no, but this is Lego Mario.
But I guess he doesn't get to build it.
And I'm like,
and he doesn't get to build it.
But I get it, and I do get it. Trust me. In fact, it was great today that I discovered being a basic Nintendo Switch member, is that I've got access to some old Game Boy classics, NES and SNES classics now. So I've downloaded them, and I was on them, and I was playing on original Game Boy Tetris. The best thing about the apps is that whichever one you go on to, it comes up with the same startup sound that you used to have. So with the Game Boy one, you click on, it gives you a ding. It gives you that like high-pitched little ding. It's like, and it's just brilliant.
It's so satisfying.
And I've just found, I found out as well today,
satisfying,
is that if I upgrade my tier, so if I go from basic Nintendo Switch to the expansion set, I can access the N64 version games. And I've just found out what games are available on the N64. GoldenEye.
God.
Original.
Oh, I'm so looking for it.
I've said to Elle.
Wasn't that coming out somewhere?
Yeah, but you can get perfect.
Weren't they remaking that, or it was coming out on Xbox or something like that?
It's coming out on the Switch. The Switch is doing it, but they've now released it. But I know one other game I saw that you can get right now is Perfect Dark, which was kind of the prelude to GoldenEye when that came out, and I remember playing that, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" And then GoldenEye came out and blew it out the water because GoldenEye was so good to play.
Yeah,
but it's just great. As I said, I was going.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Mario before.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Speaking of Mario before, have you seen the what's his name? The guy that plays Mandalorian and was in the last. Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Have you seen the Saturday?
Yes,
the Saturday Night Live Mario thing.
I have seen the Saturday Night Live Mario thing, and can I just say why isn't that being made into the movie rather than the trailer that we got for Chris Pratt's version?
Oh,
which
I want it so bad.
I tell you, I am really, really. I don't know if it's going to be good.
Yeah, no.
I really don't know if that Mario movie is going to be any good. The Chris Pratt one, I really don't.
I just found it was so funny that at the very start where he's sitting there and it's like this eerie. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's kind of almost like a Mario Kart
dystopian future Mario. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and the whole idea is to get them across town. They have to cart across, but obviously, what's his name is there? Bowser's there taking people out, but like it's this gritty bar thing, and this girl walks in going, "Oh,
I need to get something across the border."
And then he turns around and goes, "It's me, Mario," and I'm like, "Oh." So good. It's so good.
It's hilarious how, I mean, funnily enough, when he obviously took the Saturday night, because obviously he's in what's the video game show? Last of Us. Yeah, he's doing that show at the moment as well.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? You know, people are like, why are all the boys fanboying over Pedro? It's like, it's Pedro Pascal. Have you seen Pedro Pascal? I mean, yes, of course we're all fanboying. He's, you know, him and Ryan Reynolds, you know, come on. It's like, you know, come on.
Yeah,
you know, they walk.
He may not be as good looking as Ryan Reynolds.
Hey,
he's got the nerdiness about him.
I like, you know, no offense.
Really,
I like a bit of, you know, I like the grit on him. It's quite nice, especially with that mustache. I think it's quite nice.
Jordan's more into exotic men than I am.
Hey, look, if you want Ryan, I'll have Pedro. I don't mind. Okay, listen, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what friends are for.
Look, they're at a bar, you know, I'll take Pedro, you can take Ryan, it's fine. You know, walk up, buy him drinks.
Ah, man. We'll just get all drunk. It'd be fun as.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, but yeah, there was. I would kill to have that movie because I must have spent some serious coin on it because it was rather impressive. Like even some of the special effects.
It's really
the way obviously they brought in like Yoshi and Toad and like that. It was just hilarious.
It is really.
Do yourself a favor, people. Go watch it.
It is. No, it is such a good. I mean, to be fair, I've always found lately as well that the Saturday Night Live skits, the last 2 years, they've kind of gone up quite a bit in caliber now. I don't know whether it's because I mean, I wonder if they've improved it because maybe they're starting to get a diminishing audience now. Although Saturday Night Live is meant to kind of refresh itself and gain more audience every couple of years anyway. Like, but it kind of feels like I've noticed the last couple of years that the skits were always like, to now, whoa. It's like, hang on a minute. there's a bit of a difference here sort of thing, you know? Because like, I mean, I remember being a kid and seeing Saturday. I remember being, like when the internet was getting started, I remember seeing the Blues Brothers. And I was like, hang on a minute, I thought it was only a movie. Yes. And it's like, oh no, they did it. They did so many, obviously.
Yeah, that's how it started.
That's how it started. And I was like, how did I not know this? Because I love the Blues Brothers is like one of my favorite movies. It's so good.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But yeah, I mean,
I must say though, with the Blues Brothers though, I remember when they were like, we're doing another one after Jim Belushi died, and I was like, who the hell are you going to get to do that? And then they had Dan Aykroyd, and I must say they also had John Goodman, and I love John Goodman. And as like musically, he is absolutely brilliant, and that's why when they got him, I was like, I'm not hating on that because I love John Goodman. He is great, and but yeah, that was a weird one when they said they were doing it.
When I remember going to see it at the cinema, and I remember obviously seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. This is a bit weird because it's not got John Belushi. Because obviously we all knew that John Belushi died and blah blah blah. And it's like, how do you replace John Belushi? He's so good. Because honestly, the first film wouldn't work without John Belushi in it at all. It would not have worked in any way, shape, or form, sort of thing. And I'm like, okay. And you know, and to be fair, the second one isn't as good as the first. It's good.
Yeah,
but it's not as good as the first.
It's good for its own reason.
Yes,
but it's kind of like whenever you make a remake of an iconic film, chances are it's never going to be good. Like for example, Evil Dead. Evil Dead was a cult classic. Everybody loved it, and then the new one they brought out actually wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't the same. And I think that sometimes it kind of reminded me of that, where it did kind of feel like a remake.
Yeah,
that was still held true to the original, and it was still, they had so many good parts, and they obviously used some similar people and some different people and some new people, and I was like, I don't hate it, but it definitely wasn't the original.
Yeah,
and I think that's where it was.
It's really funny because I love the original. You know, I wouldn't say I'm an avid fan of the original Evil Dead series. I enjoy them; they were really enjoyable to watch.
I loved it.
But I saw the new one, and I was like,
3 is funny as hell though.
Which one's 3? trying to think now. Which one's 3?
Three's the one where he goes back in medieval.
Oh, he goes back to medieval times.
It goes from being horror
to
so the first one was like horror and shit scary.
Yeah.
The second one was kind of horror with this sprinkling of comedy, and the third one was just like we're not adding any horror. Yeah. We're just going all comedy.
Yeah. No, that
and it just worked.
Yeah, that's when things went off the rails. I remember that. Yeah. No, it was yeah. It was
great.
It was entertaining. But yeah. So anyway, so I've had a very busy week. Des, essentially between driving, which has taken 4 hours of my day. I've squeezed work in as much as I thank God my boss is like a godsend. I have the best boss ever. He lets me work in variety, as I need to. So he's been a godsend. But I've been pulling like late nights. Like I think you've messaged me a couple of times. And normally I'm sat on the couch on my ass, maybe a beer, watching whatever, and I make a social comment, and he's like, and Des is like, messaging me and said, "Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'm cracking on with work," and he's like, "But it's 9 o'clock at night," and I went, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "What the hell are you working?"
It wasn't 9 o'clock at. It wasn't 9 o'clock at night. It was 9 o'clock at night for me. And Melbourne and Auckland have a 2-hour time difference, and they're 2 hours ahead. So which means it would have been about 11 o'clock for Jordan. So I was like,
yes.
"Bitch, normally when I message you this time, it's either you're like, I'll message you in the morning, or quick answers because you're either laying in bed or you're watching movies." Where he was like, no. Oh, give me a bit. I'm just cracking on with work. And I'm like, okay. And then I looked at the time and I'm like, huh? What's the time over there? And I'm like, are they two? And then I'm like, every part of me was like, are they 2 hours behind us? I thought they were in front of us. And I'm like, couldn't think. And I literally even Googled Auckland time. And I'm like, no, it is 11 o'clock. I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, do I ask? Because I feel rude. Like, I'm like, or is this something I should know?
Am I in Australia for the week? Or, this is the question, am I snuck over?
Yeah, I was like, so confused.
Yeah. No, it was just, luckily, I was like, my boss didn't care. He said, as long as the work gets done in the day, I don't care. And what I was doing, because obviously I was having such early starts with Edward, I was like, well, the end of day is going to run at like 8 o'clock. So if I log on at maybe 8:30, because obviously it varies what time it actually runs. I thought if I log on about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I've got all my morning work there. So if I crack on and like do that, then that's all my morning work done. And then by the time I land back with Edward by the time I drop Edward off and get back from commuting, I've got my starting of my midday work and I can crack on with that. So all I was doing was bashing out the stuff ahead of time. Which my boss didn't care because, of course, it looks really good on his figures and his reports because suddenly it's like, oh, we've had an increase in productivity. And it's like, yes, because Jordan's killing himself. It was one of those things. I mean, to be fair, I am slammed with reports and everything else that I due, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm sick of work. Yeah, I actually was working last night, so I ended up... go home because it was Friday, which is takeaway night in the Halligan household. So we ended up, and Eddie, after we dropped Ellie off to get shuttle to Ed Sheeran, I said, Eddie, what do you want? And he's like, I really want Taco Bell. Fine, Taco Bell it is. Which is me. Nice. I'll tell you now. Mexican. Yeah, I tell you now, it's very mediocre. I don't get all the hype. I really don't get all the hype about it. It's very average. In fact, I'll be honest, it's below average. I've had better tacos from like a crappy pub kitchen. I'll tell you now.
Oh, yeah, but they are, but they're just greasy and cheesy, and like especially like see, I haven't had them here because I don't even know if we've got them here. I know we have Taco Bill. The Taco Bill is more like a proper Mexican restaurant. Yeah. Like they literally call it Taco Bill, and it's like a Mexican restaurant. But it's always funny too, though, because everyone I've ever been at, there hasn't been a single South American person there. Like one of my mates, Tran, used to be head chef at one of these. Tran, obviously not being a South American name for anyone playing at home. But yeah, like it's the weirdest thing. And like every time I've gone there, I reckon it's about a 50-50 chance you're gonna get food poisoning. 100%. Like every time I speak to somebody gets.
I've just looked. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the entire of Australia.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's
really?
Hang on.
Melbourne.
There's 2 in Melbourne.
Really?
There's 2 in Melbourne.
Taco Bill or Taco Bell?
Taco Bell. Yeah. There's 3 in Brisbane. Oh, Brisbane are outdoing you. And then there is 1 in Perth.
Oh wow, there is 2.
There is. There's 2. There is. Oh no, there's 3. Sorry, there's 3. Sorry, I've messed up.
Yeah, 1 in Hawthorn, 1 in South Yarra.
Yeah.
1 in Roxburgh Park. I was like, okay.
So yeah. So
I don't think I physically can eat anything there now that I'm plant-based, but yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I have to say,
because I've only ever had it I had it in America.
I mean, it's hilarious how, like, I remember the only thing I know about Taco Bell before actually trying it is that if you were struggling and you were constipated, you went to Taco Bell and it would clear you out. That's all. Yeah, that's all I was fully aware of, and that's from pretty much every American show, TikToker, YouTube who would tell me these things. And having to hear, it's like, yeah, it's fine. You know, I've had worse. I really have.
Yeah, no.
You know, sort of thing. But yeah, I had a.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, no, it was all good. But yeah, it's
because Taco Bill is like kind of bad as well. Like you tend to find you get the runs from that. But I remember going to America and the first time I had Taco Bell, I was like, oh my god, Taco Bell, I get to have it, and I reckon I got like 11 things, and I think it cost me like $9 in tax. It was ridiculous, and I swear to God, it was cheaper than any enema from any chemist that I could find because. Holy bejesus,
cheaper than buying laxative.
It was like a Taco Bell. Oh my god, it was like the Mississippi of Taco Bell. Like it was horrid. Like I remember spending, I reckon, probably about 4 hours on and off the toilet. It was horrific.
Oh, no.
And then ever since then, I'm so glad I tried it. I'm never trying it again.
Oh, well, that's good to know. God, that's hilarious.
Seriously, man.
Oh, that's really funny. But no, I mean, yeah. So we ended up having that, and yeah, it was just literally. I ended up getting on work last night, and I was, you know, when you're in that mood of like, right, I don't want to do any work, but I need to finish off this Excel spreadsheet bit, and as long as I get all this bit done, I don't have to do all of the months. If I just do January, which is what I needed to be done, then I can make up this report that I need to get done next week. And I was just like, I was doing each one. I mean, honestly, I just got to this point of where I ended up using every single cheat method I know how to make sure I can duplicate the code. I'm replacing thing. You know, I'm Alt Control F and find and replace on the line. Do it for this bit, and then I'm doing everything in my power to speed it up. And I think I got to like 9:30. I was like, right, that's it. January's done. I'm turning all this crap off. I'm done. I can't be bothered.
Oh man!
Because I was so tired and my back was killing me last night. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't be bothered. I said I need several beers, and I'm gonna have a couple of rums as well. This is how badly I need to drink today. Yeah.
Was this on Friday?
Yeah, this is.
So I spoke. Which was Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. We're a day ahead, which is weird for us.
Yeah.
Normally we record, ladies and gentlemen, for those who normally record on a Sunday, and we're recording on Saturday today.
Yeah, because I'm going hiking, so I had to screw us up. But yeah, no, like it was weird because I spoke to my friend Kristen last night, and and she's like, I've had a great day, so I'm just getting on the rums. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I spoke to another friend, Alan, who was on the rums, and then I ran into a mate at the bottle shop next door to my house, and he had like rum cans in it. I was like, is Friday rum day? And I just didn't know. So I'm like, and then you've told me you've had it too, and I'm like, it must be International Rum Day on a Friday.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, because it's hilarious, obviously, because now I am calorie counting everything. Is the best bang for buck I've found in terms of hard liquor is rum. It's something that I can happily gin. No, I don't like gin. I don't mind Genevieve. Which is, you know, oh my god, I actually got that right for once on first try without asking Elle. So Genevieve is a pre-gin, which actually tastes more like whiskey, because you've got to go through another refining process before it becomes gin. And
weird.
I'll tell you now, it is.
It's like I really like this. I really like this gin because it tastes like whiskey.
Yes.
You're like, then it's not really that ginny, is it?
No, no. Honestly, it's so strange, but it tastes so good. In fact, there was only one gin I will drink, and it was done in there was this little distillery back before in Camden Market before it burnt down years ago.
Shit!
Do you it didn't start with them. You know, it wasn't their fault, but there was a little distillery, obviously, as one of the as one of the units. And this guy, and he made this gin, but he made it in a very unusual way. And the reason why is that obviously gin is quite cheap to make, but he hates gin. He hates the taste of it because Junior Burberry, you either like the taste of gin or you don't. It's gin is 100%. Not gin is one of those liquors that you either like or you don't. It's the Marmite of the liquor world. Now, he was like, I want to obviously produce it and sell it because it's cheap and it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper and easy to make than a lot of the other ones. But obviously, he wants to be able to partake of his product to know how good it is, and obviously, but which is respectable. So he ended up doing a process which actually made his taste a bit more whiskey-ish. So it was kind of like
he's probably put it in oak barrels, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he was doing. I think he was doing something with that. But basically he was running it through that, and literally you had it. And basically all he would do is he would say, right, you take a serving here, so pour it in. If you want ice, feel free. And he would run. He say you take any citrus you like, and you run it around the rim of the glass, and you drink it. And honest to God, it was like it was nectar. It just slipped down. It was just nice and warming. It was so good. Honest to God, and I literally, because I said I'm not a gin drinker. He said, "Oh, do you drink whiskey?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "Honestly, try this, you'll love it." I was like, "All right, go on."
Yeah, because
it was a free sample, and of course,
I always find that weird. Like I always find that weird. Like as obviously I've spoken on this podcast that I've gone more plant based. Don't like the word vegan, but pretty much it is vegan. I just don't like the wanky connotation that vegan has. But like even for me, like people are like, oh, so do you get like that faux meat and stuff? I'm like, no. I was like, because if I don't like, for me, I'm like, why would I eat something that is trying to mimic something else when I could just go out and eat that if I really wanted to?
Yeah.
Like if I'm craving chicken so much, or if I'm craving bologna so much, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to get this vegan bologna. No, just eat it, bro. Like if you're craving food that much and if it's that like intense that you wanted, just eat the normal thing, because I guarantee that's probably 98% chemicals. And I'm like, I don't understand this thing where I'm like, I'm going to make this beer, but it's going to taste like orange juice. So why don't I just drink fucking orange juice? It's cheaper. I don't get it. That's one thing that I don't understand.
I remember there was a massive debate a couple of years before we left UK. The Greggs, who is a well-known bakery chain, basically.
Sausage roll? Yeah, sausage rolls.
And they made
Greggs
sausage rolls. They made the vegetable sausage roll, the vegan sausage roll.
Oh.
But of course, there was a big, massive debate and argument about it, because at what point is that a sausage roll? Because it's not a sausage roll anymore. It's a vegan roll. It's call it whatever you want, but it's not a sausage roll because there's no sausage in it.
Yeah, but technically, most sausage rolls don't have sausage in it either, though.
Yeah, well, they have sausage meat,
Not all of them. Most of them here don't.
Oh yeah, no. The one, this end of the world is terrible. I mean, don't get me started. I mean, but I know why. The reason why you guys, all the sausages suck in the southern hemisphere because you don't use rusk. That's the reason why it doesn't.
We've had this conversation. This is
this
rusk debate again.
The rusk debate.
Okay, guys, if you want, just fast forward about 35 minutes, and then Jordan should have his rant finish. I do agree that rusk does add a lot to sausages, but
the only thing,
Jordan's
it's
gonna
hilarious
have a rant,
how
people.
it's hilarious how it's not even that big of a thing. The only thing it adds is texture.
Continues.
That's the one thing it adds. It doesn't add any flavor. It doesn't do that. It just adds.
I've had sausages,
texture.
mate.
Oh,
I've had your sausages, and I agree with you.
No, you don't have my sausage, sir.
But even then, though, also I still think that not all sausage rolls that I had in the UK had sausage meat in it. Just saying.
To be fair, though, the only reason you went for a Greggs. To be fair, there's only two reasons you went for a Greggs at any point. Oh, I miss a steak bake. Sorry, random thought popped into my head of steak bake. And
that was, if you paused that about 30 seconds ago, that was Jordan's O face. So yeah.
Oh, steak bakes. But yeah, the only reason you normally went to Greggs is one, you were hungover as hell, or two, you needed something super quick for lunch. Like, I'm talking super quick. You've got like a literal 5-minute lunch and you need to chow something down. That's what.
Well, I only went to Greggs. I think I went to Greggs 3 times in total. And the first time I went, I reckon I'd been in the UK maybe 2.5 years, and I was there 3 years. So because we didn't have a Greggs anywhere near us that I knew of, and we went on a road trip, and they went, maybe we should get Greggs, and I'm like, what's Greggs? And they so we were driving from Teddington, where I lived, to Cardiff, where one of the guys is going to school there. So we decided to do a road trip, have a few drinks, see what the Welsh girls were like, and then drive home. And somebody said, "Oh, we should stop at Greg's," and everyone kind of laughed and just went, "We're not that hungover, this, that, and the other." And I said, "What's Greg's?" And 4 Englishmen turned around and just looked at me like I had just insulted the Queen. Like, and I had just like murdered the Queen or something. And I was like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, you've not had Greg's?" And I'm like, "Nah."
Yeah.
And then we drove 28 Ks out of our way to go to a Greg's because they didn't want to stop at like a petrol station one to introduce me to this sausage roll. And I won't lie, it was pretty fucking good.
It was good.
And then we also may have gone there on the way back.
To be fair though, I had the same exact experience when me, you, and Numbers went to Melbourne Magic the Gathering Grand Prix.
Oh yeah.
And he went, "Oh, let's get Red Rooster and we get some we'll get chicken and we'll get some potato gravy." And I went, "What's potato gravy?"
Oh,
and he looked at
that's
me like I'd grown a second head. He's like, "It's potato gravy." I went, "Well, is it potato or gravy?" And he was like,
both.
"How do you not know? It's together." And I'm like, "What do I get? My what is it?"
I think,
and then it was you who suddenly went, "Oh no, he's English." It's like, no. Listen, Sean.
I was like, just Jerry. I was like, hang on, I have to translate here.
They don't have this in the UK. You went,
because you get the little tubs of gravy.
Oh yeah, no, it's like if you go to KFC in the UK, you get, you can get gravy. Great. You can get your chips. You can't. I don't think you can get mashed potato. Last time I checked, you couldn't. But yeah, it was
last night you couldn't.
Yeah, but it was kind of like that. But when he said potato gravy, I'm like, what the? I'm thinking, is it gravy that's made from potatoes in some random fashion?
So for anybody that hasn't been to Australia or doesn't live in Australia, it is very weird because what happens is you get these packs. So you get like a Zinger burger pack, and what it does is it normally has a Zinger burger, normally some wicked wings or a couple of tenders or something little like that. It has a small chips, a roll, potato and gravy, and a can. And for some reason, Australians love grabbing the chips, mixing the potato and gravy, and then eating it like that. And it's kind of the weirdest thing because I've had friends that have worked out there, and obviously the gravy is exactly what you think. Powdered gravy, add some water, fantastic.
It's powdered mash that has water as well. It's powdered mash.
But the potato in it is just powdered mash, and you just add water and it becomes potato, and you pipe a little bit in and you just add some gravy to the top. And I won't lie, like when every time I try to explain this to people or I've shown people this, people are like, why? You've got chips. Why? Just give us some gravy. And it's so weird because and I didn't realize this until I started traveling, that I was like, nah, man, potato and gravy, it's the bomb. And then when you go over there and you just dip your chips in gravy, you're just like, why did I need it also coated in this fake sort of floury mashed potato and gravy when I could just dip it in gravy? And then coming home for the first time when I had it, I remember going, fuck were we thinking? Like, either give us potato and gravy or give us chips. Like, don't give us both. And then why are we dipping one into the other?
Oh, I literally remember.
It just made no sense to me. And then just weird.
I literally remember when Sean was like, no, we got right. It's like, right, fine. We'll order you a little pot. It's like, I said, I just don't get it though. Why do you need a starch on starch combo? It's a bit, you have your gravy, chips, gravy. Yes, chips and sauce works. Not everywhere in the world, because especially since I moved to New Zealand, they don't do so. The only sauce you can get is barbecue or tomato. You can't get gravy or curry sauce.
Yeah,
but that's a rant. We've already been through that rant.
I won't lie though. Curry sauce was random for me before I went to America. Before I went to the UK. So yes, that understands it. But yeah, this one is weird because when you think about it, you've got bread with fried chicken. So you've got starch in the bread. You've got the coating of the bread, which is a flour mixture. Then you've got either chicken tenders or wicked wings that are pretty much heavily breadcrumbed chicken or chicken drumettes. Then you get a roll. Then you get chips, and then you get potato and gravy. And I'm just like, bro, are you carb loading? Because it's ridiculous. Like, you don't need it.
Honest to God, I mean, it was hilarious how I really fancied KFC. What was it, about a month ago or something like that? I really, I just thought, I really want like a wicked zinger. I really want it. And I said, and I literally pulled up for the thing. I said, "Can I get a wicked zinger but no bun, please?" Because obviously I'm, trying to keep the carbs out. And literally the guy went, "Hang on, sorry sir, I think the mic's cutting out." I went, "Okay, sorry." I said, "What's your order?" I said, "Can I get a wicked zinger burger on its own, but I don't want no bun?" And he went, so what's going to hold the burger together? I said, well, do you not do like a lettuce wrap or something? It's like, hang on, this should be a common question now. It's just like, can I get my manager? I was like, what? It's how hard's this as a decision?
No, because I've done that, and literally my best mate Brendan, who is celiac, we used to do that where he used to get like a Big Mac without a bun or something like that, and literally what they used to do though is a lot of them used to just be put 2 pieces of meat, lettuce, thingo, and just put it into the clamshell, and to the point where it was almost impossible to eat because it was just fucking everywhere. So then he ended up ordering a Big Mac without the middle bun, and then he would actually pull it apart himself because it was just easier.
Yeah, because once because literally then the manager jumped on the thing and she said, oh, what's the problem with the order? I said, I want a Wicked Zinger burger on its own, but no bun. And she was like, I don't know if we could do that. I said, right, fine. Can I have a Wicked Zinger burger, please, on its own? And literally, I ended up getting it. And literally, I got home and took the bun off and just ate it. And I was like, God forbid, how hard is it to get a burgerless bun and KFC? I've not been since.
I guess you probably should have just asked for, can I just get the Zinger burger patty by itself? But I guess you wanted the lettuce and the mayo.
Oh no, that's the thing. I wanted the Wicked Zinger. I wanted everything on it, but I didn't want to have the bun because I knew that I know how.
Well, what's in your Zinger? Because the ours is just lettuce and mayo and then the patty.
Oh no, it's lettuce, mayo, the Wicked sauce thing, or the supercharged or whatever it is, and and the patty, and then so it's that all together, and that's what I wanted. But of course, asking for it without a bun and suddenly computer, robots and cannot compute.
Jordan takes down the entire KFC.
Jordan takes down KFC in New Zealand by asking for a bunless burger. Dear Lord. But yeah,
it shouldn't be that hard. You should just put the patty in and then just squirt everything on top and just be like, "Here's a messy box, bro. Enjoy."
Yeah, which would have been fun, and I would have accepted it, because I have asked for it in this manner. But it was just. Because I said, do you not do like a lettuce wrap? And she went, no, we does anyone else do it? I went, yes, quite a few burger chains do lettuce wraps.
Does anybody else do that? Yes, that's why I asked for it, because I know other places that do it.
It's like I can literally, because the worst bit is this KFC was across the road from a McDonald's. I can go across the road and ask for any burger I want and say, I want it in a lettuce wrap, please. Certainly, sir. That's the end of the conversation. I don't have to explain anything. It's like, great, fab. And I've done that a couple of times, where it's like, I want a almighty Texan from McDonald's, but can I have a lettuce wrap, please? Yep, certainly, sir. And it, it's mediocre, but it's still good. I miss the bun, but it's fine.
What was funny too, though, is there was this. What was it? It was like an Instagram reel, or I'm guessing it probably was originally a TikTok because they all seem to be. Originally in TikTok, and she's like, I'm having a cheeseburger, but it's lettuce wrap, and she's literally got the cheeseburger with the bun exactly how it is, and wraps the lettuce around it. So it looks like is that, and then she just bites into it, but doesn't bite the lettuce.
No, she says like, but this is healthy for me because it's lettuce wrapped, and it's like.
Yeah, and then she gets chips and wraps lettuce around it and eats the chips, but doesn't eat the lettuce. And then she gets a can of Coke and just wraps the lettuce around it and goes, "This is Coke, but it's lettuce wrapped." And you see the boyfriend just fucking lose it, and it's the greatest thing ever because she doesn't actually eat the lettuce. Like she's probably using the same bit of lettuce for the entire thing. And I'm like, oh my God,
I have seen it, and I was howling when I watched it. I thought, oh God, this is funny as it was good. No,
it's so good, so good.
Well, anyway, I think I've just realised what the time is.
No, because you're editing, so we can go longer.
No, we're not going longer.
You haven't been doing anything this week.
Hell no.
You've been kind of slack.
Hell no. What do you mean slack?
Slack this week.
What do you mean I've been slack this week? I've been slammed this week. Cheeky ass. God forbid. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, if you do enjoy listening to us on the various podcast platforms that we are available on, as well as vidcast on our YouTube channel, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. Commenting, you can obviously reach us at our social media, which is on Twitter. don't know where everyone else.
Yes, which is which is at lettuce wrap Dork Down Under because we're healthy.
Yes.
Please don't search that because please don't search that because there's probably is a Twitter that's probably Dorks Down Under lettuce wrap.
There probably is. But yeah, so you can find us via Dorks Down Under on all good platforms. We want to say a big much love and much thank you to all our subscribers and listeners and everything else. Thank you very much. I don't know why you listen to us two idiots every week, but anyway.
It's funny because it's true.
It is funny because it is true. But yeah, so anyway, we hope to be back soon. Well, we'll be back next week with another episode of What's Going On in Your Life with Dez and Jordan, unless we actually come up with a topic for the episode for a change.
I think we need to come up with a topic. Every second one we should have a topic so it sounds somewhat like we've actually organised something.
Well, to be fair, actually, no. No, we've had back-to-back talk. I'm just looking at our recent episodes, and we went from... Yes, we had
the movie monsters.
We had talking, and then we had farewell to the tyrant Jacinda Ardern, and then we had monster movies, and then we had Marvel. So yeah, we've been doing well. We've been doing well topic wise. We're keeping on top of it.
Actually, season 2, mate. We seem to be actually on the ball, mate. What's happening? It's got to change.
I don't know. We're actually in sync for a change, Des. God forbid. We're actually recording on time. We've got schedules. We've got everything. God.
We even came a day early on this one. We're like, yes.
It's all right. We'll be recording on Monday next.
No, just to get us back on the even days.
But anyway, much love, guys. We want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers and followers. Peace out. Enjoy yourselves. Catch you guys later.